share the news with you people. There's wins all over out there right now. And again, this whole thing, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I always hated it when people said, oh, Neil, it has to be this way. It had to be this way. I hated that. But, it seems like it actually did have to be this way. So really quickly, want to thank my sponsor. That's Midas Gold, MidasGoldGroup.com. Text Lumberjack to 232-425 to get yourself some silver or gold. This is an American Silver Eagle proof. You can get regular Silver Eagles. You can get Canadian Maple Leafs. You can get all that good stuff over there at MidasGoldGroup.com. You can text Lumberjack to 232-425, and you will receive free silver with qualifying orders. So go check them out. You can also call them at 480-360-3000. Anyways, thanks so much to Midas Gold Group for sponsoring this show. So before I get into the news, folks, I think might be the best parenting decision of my life was buying a boat. And I will show you what I mean by such things. This is what's been going on the last few days. That's my daughter, Sarah, with a big bass. That's my son, Jeremiah, with a monster walleye. And here's another big bass. So anyways, those are mega fish. That's right. Make America Great Again fish. I promised the kids I would do more with them this summer. And hence, you get up early in the morning in Minnesota. I got 15 lakes within 5 miles of me. I can just go right around and we can haul the boat to whichever lake that morning and go check it out. But we have some big wins, folks. A big win out of Texas. I'll cover that before I cover the Trump wins. Good to see you on from Oklahoma, Mark. Good to see you, Michelle, and so many others. Please do smash that like button. Do chat in with where you're from. Really does help to get the stream out there. But listen to this out of the state of Texas. Texas university officials say hundreds of jobs have been cut or changed after DEI office ban. That's right. The University of Texas Systems Chancellor, James Milliken, says that the institution's campuses had cut about 300 full and part-time positions and roughly 600 programs. People, I love it. Do you remember when Elon Musk took over Twitter, which is now X, but I still call it Twitter? But anyways, good to see Arizona and Oklahoma on. Look, I remember when he did this because he cut 80% of the workforce. And people, those who have been on X or Twitter, and my handle for X is down in the description. Please follow me over there as well. You never know. I was just talking with my daughter about this. We were kind of developing a strategy for how we approach social media these days. And the bottom line is you can't trust any of these companies. And even though Elon Musk's been doing a good job with Twitter or X, it seems, and has been definitely much more free speech centered, you can't you can't trust any of these people. So, I mean, what do? You have to use all the platforms and just try to keep yourself alive. The worst is Facebook, but I do now, because of you people, have a Facebook handle down below too. I've got some on Instagram, but we're having trouble uploading videos there. But the bottom line is Elon Musk let go of 80% of the workforce. And people, I want to ask you a question. Those of you who are over there, does it work better or worse now? Better or worse? Are you more interested or less interested in Twitter? Better or worse? Just comment. I'm curious to see what you guys, because some people are still complaining about it over there. I have not had any issues. I did get one that I did get a post suppressed because I said something that they didn't like. Okay. I just, look, if you got booted off Twitter before and they haven't gotten you fixed, just go start a new account over there. Michelle says better. James says better. Truth and Telegram, I use those as well. Better. Don't use it at all. Yeah. So more, better. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's become much better. But that's reducing 80% of the workforce. Why? Because they were all a bunch of DEI and banning idiots. Okay, that's what they were. So listen to this here at the Texas University. Texas universities have cut or changed hundreds of jobs from this DEI crap. Okay. Milliken's comments were part of a hearing at the Texas State Capitol about compliance with DEI law that Republican Governor Greg Abbott signed last year. I will guarantee you they are skirting this a little bit. but it's still moving forward. According to the AP, Texas is among roughly 1/3 of the states that have limited or prohibited DEI programs, which is great. This movement is catching on. So that's happened in Texas after that law was implemented. We're talking about 300 full and part-time positions that were not needed, that have been eliminated, saving the taxpayers of Texas money. In addition to that, saving tuition expenses to students that should be translating to that. And furthermore, not indoctrinating them. Okay, DEI didn't earn it exactly. Okay, guys, listen to this. This is so great. Well, I'm going to skip. I'm going to go this way because I've got a bunch of my Minnesota listeners on. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the last polls in Minnesota, which voted, the only state, Minnesota is the only state to have voted against Ronald Reagan. The only state in 1984 that Ronald Reagan did win was my home state of Minnesota. Now, granted, Walter Mondale was from Minnesota, but I don't think Minnesota's voted for a Republican presidential candidate since 1940 something was the last year, if I recall correctly. 1940 or 1950. Anyways, Biden, in the last KSTP Survey USA poll, and KSTP has not been like conservative polling, okay? I can just tell you from past history. Biden, +2. +2. If we continue to go down this road, we could get Trump. I think we need a Trump +5. I think we need a Trump +5 to pull out a win in Minnesota. But it could happen at this point. Joe Biden's that bad. Because listen to this now. Out of the free press, the rise of the never Bidens. Donors who were once worried about Donald Trump now see the president's bid for a second term as a greater threat to America. Joe Biden's threat last week to freeze arms shipments to Israel, along with reports that his administration is withholding intelligence about Hamas leaders' whereabouts, has reverberated throughout U.S. politics. Now, can you imagine? I don't care. In some ways, look, I don't. Please hear me on this. This is controversial to say. But do you realize that the country with the highest jab rate during COVID was which country? Does anybody know which country had the highest rate of people being jabbed during that whole shenanigans going on? Which country was the best test lab for what was right or wrong with it? No, it was not China. Not China. Somebody got it there. Israel. Peter got it and somebody else got it. Haplo got it. Israel, 98% people. It's not like some great free democracy. It's not a great free republic. It's not a great free anything. I mean, Israel was totalitarian during that stuff. So I don't think like I'm like, oh yes, I love Israel's government. They're just the best. Okay, so I don't want you to think that. I like people. Most of these governments are corrupted at this point, but to actually be the Biden administration withholding intelligence about Hamas leaders' whereabouts? Did you guys catch that? Hamas leaders' whereabouts? I mean, we would hide the intelligence on that? Huh? Really? I think about this. Do you guys think that's right in any world that we would hide the whereabouts of Hamas's leaders? Yes or no? Do some of you guys, are some of you okay with that? I mean, the multi-billionaires who hide out in hotels and really? We're going to hide their whereabouts? Now some never Trump donors say the Biden administration's policy toward the Jewish state is such a betrayal, they're considering jumping on board the Trump train. Okay, I got to bring in some other analysis on this because Joe Biden is pandering to the Palestinian people, and the Arab Americans, whatever, they call them refugees, people. I mean, they come over here from these other countries, never assimilate, and so on. Okay, it's ridiculous. But listen to this. I don't know if any of you know of who Nate Silver is, but he's runs the blog. he covers a lot of polling and everything. Anyways, he's a lefty, all right, long and short. But here's what Joe Biden can win from that standpoint, because they keep talking about how Joe Biden's going to lose the youth vote over Palestine and all this. So let's do some math here. About 51% of the country voted for Biden in 2020. Again, this is Silver's blog, okay? Of that 51%, 14% say they don't plan to vote for Biden this time in the head-to-head matchup against Trump. Oh, jeez. 14% of the 51% say they don't plan to vote for Biden this time in the head-to-head. So that's about 7%. You guys get that? 7% of the voting populace, okay, according to these numbers. Of those, 13% list Gaza or something related as their top issue. And of that 13%, 49% are more sympathetic to Palestine than to Israel. You guys following this? I mean, we're going to break these numbers down for you. And only 17% are more sympathetic to Israel. The rest are in the both or neither camp. So what we get is 51% times 14% times 13%. Times 0.49%. Okay, again, leaving us, people, with 0.005. That's right, 538. Thank you. 538 is the blog Nate Silver runs. Somebody commented on that. That is 0.5%, excuse me, it's 0.005 or 0.5% of the American electorate are 2020 Biden voters who say they'll withdraw their vote from Biden because he's too far to the right on Israel. This is how stupid the Democrats are. And this reminds me just how stupid they are right now. So one of the things the left is really good at, because they get paid operatives, is running around college campuses acting like everybody's on their side, okay? And protesting, oh my gosh, Israel's the evil, the great Satan. It's like it's a talking point right out of Iran, for Pete's sakes, okay? Now, do me a favor, 1,559 people on, smash that like. Let's get some more people on this stream. You're the best audience. Thank you for doing that for me. 0.5% of the American electorate, they are willing to go after that 0.5%. Do you guys remember in 2016, when the Republican strategist told Trump that he had to back off border wall and illegal immigration because it was going to cost him the Hispanic vote? And again, you could run math on that. And I did for people, because George Bush at that point, I think it pulled 41%. It was 41 or 43% of the Hispanic vote. It was the most ever pulled by a Republican president. So the answer, the Republican strategist's answer to winning more elections, especially elections in the near future, was to allow the people who only vote Republican 43% of the time, but that wasn't even the real number, because not only did they vote for only 43% of the time in the highest scenario, but the people who were illegal weren't the same group of Hispanics. Do you all get what I'm saying there? So they wouldn't have voted 43% for the Republican. So Donald Trump doesn't listen to these idiot Republican political strategists and instead says, hey, we're opposed to illegal immigration, wins. And he won on that issue. Because they're not going to win. The Democrats are not going to win on this issue. They're not. Okay? So, but this is a bit like asking people, Silver goes on, a bit like asking people whether they prefer war or peace. The support erodes once you start to dictate terms. A recent YouGov poll is instructive on this issue. For instance, by an overwhelming majority of 64-13, Americans support a ceasefire in Gaza. But by a 44-28 plurality, Americans oppose a ceasefire if Hamas does not release the remaining hostages to Israel, according to the same poll. This is not a winning issue for the Democrats, yet they just keep going on. Furthermore, the protesters are not just demanding an unconditional ceasefire. Instead, many of the groups organizing the protests dispute Israel's right to exist and even endorse violent means like October 7th to overthrow it. So, this, people, on top of the fact, I want to, again, it is so easy to get bad news out there. I've got this next set of numbers is going to blow your mind, but I do want to mention I think he's going to come on the show maybe tomorrow. I got to double check on that. But Mike Lindell, MyPillow, mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack gets you big savings. The $25 extravaganza is still going on. You get this pillow added to your cart for free. The With God All Things Are Possible pillow and free shipping on orders over $75. Best promo code out there, Lumberjack. Go check it out, man. Great Patriot, Mike Lindell. But listen to this. And this read is really wild. Think about it. In the past 6 months, Biden has traveled the country touting what he believes are his economic accomplishments. He has spent zillions of dollars on advertising, focusing specifically on the key states. And at the same time, Trump was either preparing to go on trial or since April 15th, actually on trial in New York and facing a maximum of 136 years in prison. And Biden is still unable to catch Trump. Last month, CNN reported that from March 6th, the day after Super Tuesday, through April 21st, Biden's campaign and other Democratic advertisers spent $27.2 million on advertising for the presidential race, while the Trump campaign and the GOP advertisers spent about $9.3 million, according to Ad Impact data. The Biden campaign's ad spending has included millions in key battleground states such as Michigan, $4.1 million in Michigan alone, folks. Pennsylvania, $3.9 million. Arizona, $2.5 million. Wisconsin, $2.2 million. Georgia, $2.2 million. And so on. Spending all this money. And yet, he's not getting anywhere. Because they keep giving free media coverage to Donald Trump because they can't stop covering the trials. By the way, I'm releasing what is my favorite short. I have a great editor who edits up these shorts for me. Michelle, you're buying silver like crazy. I bought a bunch of it, silver, gold. I bought both lately because I just, the inflationary pressure drives those things up. So I'm at least able to recoup inflation. It's never worth nothing. I've had some stocks go really bad. Again, Midas Gold, MidasGoldGroup.com. Text Lumberjack 232-425. You receive free silver with qualifying order. But now we have the never Bidens. Donors who were once more worried about Trump now see Biden's bid for a second term the greater threat to America. You are literally having liberal donors who are jumping ship on Joey bribes and now becoming never Bidens. The Free Press spoke with 4 donors who contributed tens of millions of dollars the last election cycle. They say they are reconsidering their political giving in light of the president's approach to the Israel-Hamas war. All of them expressed their frustration with Biden's CNN interview last Wednesday, in which he said of Israel, if they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been historically used to deal with Rafah. Cliff Asness, a Republican donor who says he spent well over 7 figures to support Nikki Haley, told the Free Press that my never again is trumping my never Trump these days. Biden is a huge disappointment, really a moral outrage, with this arms embargo being only the latest and greatest outrage. This guy continued, it's not the greatest outrage. I'm sorry. How do we figure that not giving free arms to Israel is the greatest outrage lately? What the hell? Some of these people think. Anyways, but again, they're trying to win on the Gaza issue with a 0.5% that would actually pull their vote from Biden over this. These people have lost their minds. I mean, I will say this much, people. I mean, back when Obama was running his campaign with David Plouffe and everything, and I think these are the same people behind this, are they not able to look at the numbers like they did before? I mean, really. Billionaire entertainment mogul and major Democratic donor Haim Saban wrote of Biden's policy switch in an email to 2 senior White House advisors last week. Let's not forget that there are more Jewish voters who care about Israel than Muslim voters who care about Hamas. It's true, but it might not be true forever because Jewish people, people who are fans of Israel, Jewish, they're not having kids. These Palestinians and these Arabs who came here and haven't assimilated are having birth rates of 10. So it's not going to last forever. So they better figure it out quick. And after CNN aired Biden's comments on Wednesday, hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman, Bill Ackman, a registered Democrat, took to X to call the move one of the worst acts against an ally of a sitting president ever. Hopefully this means he won't be sitting for longer. David Friedman, who serves as Trump's ambassador to Israel and has been in touch with many Trump skeptic Jewish donors, though he has no official role in the campaign, told the Free Press he has seen more Jewish money coming in for Trump in the election. I think the announcement on Wednesday, he said, referring to Biden's arms decision, was the last straw for people who were already leaning very close to going for Trump. There is clearly a change going on. People who are active in politics with big money, people who are never Trumpers or reluctant hold your nose Trumpers, are telling me that Trump has to win. Hey, 1,938 of you fine people on. Smash the like quickly and you'll see over 2,000 people on the stream. Michael Granoff, managing partner of Maniv, a venture fund dedicated to clean transportation technology, told the Free Press that he voted for Joe Biden in 2020, but has lost confidence in the president. I am not voting for Biden. I'm not saying I'm voting for Trump, but it's a non-zero chance now. Granoff was a staffer on the Clinton-Gore campaign and was a close friend of late Senator Joe Lieberman. These days, he calls himself a political independent. He has given to campaigns for Republican Richie Torres, the Bronx Democrat, who has emerged as one of the most pro-Israel voices in Congress, as well as former Rep. Liz Cheney, who broke with Trump after January 6th. These are, do you understand? So again, I'm just looking at a single issue. Thanks so much for smashing that like. We do have over 2,000 on. But what I'm trying to get across to you people is that they're idiots. It's like Democrat strategists have become Republican strategists. And they actually are thinking now that trying to quell college protests over this Israel-Palestine situation, Hamas, is a winning issue when it amounts to 0.5% of the vote. It's crazy. Anyways, look, folks, we're winning. We're winning big. I mean, whether it's DEI, whether it's Trump, whether it's Crike in Minnesota, it's happening. So mention my sponsor again really quickly. Go check out MidasGoldGroup.com, MyPillow.com. Use Lumberjack at either one. Free silver with qualifying order at Midas Gold Group. You can also call them at 480-360-3000 or text Lumberjack to 232425. And MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack for big savings and a free pillow. I love these pillows. These are my favorite pillows. I'll show it to you again, but they just roll. They're called Roll and Go. They're travel pillows. I take them to the Boundary Waters. If you haven't ever been to the Boundary Waters, folks, it's awesome. Go check that out. I take them elk hunting with me. We take them on the road. We do art shows. These are the greatest. Anyways, I think I'll have Mike on the show here in the week. I love y'all. Keep fighting the good fight. Please drop a comment on the way out. And it's good news. All right? See you on the next episode. Peace out.